So, to our final guest of the evening, 2 summers ago, Polly Samson gave me her untitled, unfinished manuscript to have a look at. And once I started looking, I could not stop. The book is lyrical and it is haunting and it is often very painful, and it proves that sometimes, in order to be kind, you have to be cruel.
A drugged sleep, a ringing phone, a room full of daylight that has been cleansed of her existence. Julian surfaces, arms flailing, and wakes to a morning with no reason for waking. There is no sticky bottle of Calpol by Julia's side of the bed, no chewed copy of Goodnight Moon by his. The doll baby has disappeared along with her cardboard box cot from the corner where Mira played. Even the extra little pillow they had kept between their own in tacit approval of the night she crawled in between them has been tactfully removed. Julian ignores the phone and buries himself deep beneath the sheets, sinking back into a fug that smells only of himself so that he has to curl into a ball to bear it.
As with Patrick and to a lesser extent Aminata, there was a real life inspiration for part of the story. We're not going to give away the kind of 2 key sort of spoilers, but tell us about the real life inspiration for part of the story.
It's hard to do that without doing a spoiler. It was an uncle who I was very, very fond of, who lived in Paris, and he was a photographer, and he would come and visit us. And when I was 11, he died, and I was told he died of a heart attack, and there was something just didn't ring true. And so, being a sort of inquisitive spy child, I started going through things and discovered that he'd committed suicide. And the kindness that is the kindness in the book is the kindness that was the cause of his suicide. Another bottle of brandy was discovered, followed by chasers of ouzo from Carl's housemate's holiday. On repeat was that tape of Carl's favourite soundtrack, The Mission. Julian could hear it through the wall as he sat on the edge of the lavatory, his jeans round his ankles, Verity on her knees, keen to assist, tugging at him with all the delicacy of a milkmaid. He looked at the glass jar in his left hand and thought of Cara in the other room with Carl. Somehow that helped. Cara with a gap between her front teeth and swingy hair that smelled of apricots, and that shirt on the verge of unbuttoning all evening. Carl had been leaning over her, finally removing the hat, as Verity led him from the room with the jar. He had one last look as Cara edged herself up Carl's desk, her skirt sliding to the top of her thighs, Carl's hands already in her hair, and Cara leaning back so Carl had to stoop over her to kiss her, and at last her shirt fell open, and yes, no bra! And with that, Verity got her sample.
That particular bit, I remember we were talking about the research. This sounds really wrong. The research that you did for it, but in actual fact, there is a whole world of sperm on YouTube.
Yes, it was. I mean, YouTube is your friend for these things because, I mean, I kind of know what sperm must look like. I mean, it doesn't take, tadpoles, is how I imagined it. But I really wanted to be able to describe it as Julian. And suddenly I thought, oh, God, YouTube, there's bound to be a scientist or something on there. Blimey. There seems to be a thing among young men, particularly American young men, where they film their sperm under the microscope and then they put them on YouTube and they play guitar solos.
Thank you, Paul Samson. Thank you, Patrick Gale, Aminata Michael Callaghan, the Women's Camera Prizes, and the